Good morning, it's me. Hope you're not trying not to scare the little kids with my face. Tape keeps coming off, my eyes turning black. What a mess I am. Anyhow, it looks like we're going to be looking forward to some serious chaos in the House of Representatives as next week as Marjorie Taylor Greene tries to oust Michael Jordan, the Speaker of the Republican Speaker of the House, the Majority Speaker, and the Democrats say they're going to help defend him. Well, I think the Democrats are doing this because they want, not because they're trying to piss everybody off, but they want to be able to get stuff done, and they know that if this happens, probably it's up to close to the election before anybody settles down. Uh, if Jordan's ousted, it'll create chaos. The Republicans that are running for office understand this. They understand that that would create chaos for them, make them make choices that they're not ready to make right now. You know, but that's the way things go down there. She's just oh well, I can't tell you how much of a bitch she is right now, and how I don't honestly think she knows what she's doing. I don't think she's smart enough to realize what's going on. She basically is making a power play for herself. She's not allowed to have committee chairmanships or anything else, so she's doing what she can to create the appearance of having power. She's got a voice. That's all she's got. She can talk all she wants. They can't silence her, at least not yet. But we'll see what happens. What else is going on? College protests, various college campuses. The police are moving in, and a lot of these places using rubber bullets, using everything they shouldn't do. It is my opinion that they should quiet the protesters should quiet down a little bit and wait, because the real problems are in the Republican Party and in politics, and not in the decisions of somebody to support or not support Israel. They're going to support Israel. Israel has the Mossad. The Mossad is the number one intelligence agency in the world, better than ours. If it wasn't for the Mossad, we wouldn't have any idea what's going on over in that part of the world at all. And they know God. It's like the Jesuits. The Jesuits is a another institution because they have it's the Catholic priests. The Jesuits have people embedded that have been embedded there their whole life in various countries, and to report on what's going on doesn't mean anybody's going to do anything about it. That's the problem. Intelligence is, there's two things about intelligence. One is it's only good for a short period of time usually, and secondly, if you're not going to use it, it's useless. Who cares what you know and what you don't know if you're going to put it to some sort of use? Now, I don't think Trump doesn't understand intelligence. He doesn't read intelligence reports. He has other people reading them for him. He doesn't understand that what he did with his documents, that I'm not sure what's in some of them, but let's say there's something really top secret in one of them or something like that. He was using that as leverage with governments, that he's no longer president. He's willing to sell them to stay out of jail, make money, get the government to do what it wants to do. I don't know. I think that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump are moving closer and closer to treasonous acts, and I don't know whether we have the balls to punish them the way they should be. If I'm not mistaken, treason is punishable by death. I don't know if it's all treason or if it's just treason that results in the death of Americans. I don't know how that works out. But I think that some of the stuff that, but betraying, willingness to betray the country in Donald Trump's part, that's treason. And whether he does it or not, it's still treason because he leaves himself open for the fact that he will do it. He's saying, I will do it, whether I do it or not, All right, so much for that part. Now he's talking about using the military. In his case, he's saying just the National Guard, but I don't know how that's going to work out because you have a lot of immigrants in the National Guard. But he wants to deport 15 to 20 million people. Now, that's going to cost a pretty penny, probably a billion or so dollars to do that. And all the mistakes that are going to be made because of the way he wants to do it. He wants to do it right away. He wants to do it very fast. I'm sure they have lists. Every city in the country has lists right now of people they'd like to get rid of at any level. My niece was born in the United States, but she's of Japanese heritage. I don't know how that'll affect her, other than to piss her off. The same with her, with our nieces and nephews. We have friends from Colombia that are American citizens now. They're naturalized. Does that mean that they're in danger of being deported? I don't know, because the way Trump's people operate is they use that political clout they have, or the threat of deportation, as a weapon to get what they want, to force people to do what they want. It's like when he was in business, he would use money as a force to make people do his bidding. Well, he doesn't have a lot of that left anymore. That's a surprising thing. When I was about 30 years old, I went to work for a company. I was 30 or 31. I went to work for a company, a restaurant called the Rusty Scupper in West Orange as a bartender. And just as I went to work for them, they were purchased. They were a national chain, and they were purchased by Nestle's Corporation. Nestle's, and we were told that Nestle's corporate, we were given this speech about Nestle's. Nestle's was the family-owned business. There were 5 families involved in Nestle at the time, and that was a family-owned business. They were the only group in America, in the world, that could come up with $1 billion in cash in 24 hours. Okay? You get the picture? Donald Trump can't do that. Donald Trump can't come up with $100,000 tomorrow morning. Well, the way the banking laws are, you can't. It's hard to do that now. You got to give them 24 hours notice. They got to get the cash, bring it to the bank. They're going to want to know all kinds. Even for Donald Trump, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, to take cash out of the bank anymore. But Donald Trump doesn't have $1 billion. Okay, what Donald Trump has is a lot of property that's worth X amount of dollars. And the part of the problem now with him is that he's told everybody it's worth a lot more than it is. And he's gotten credit lines and loans and whatnot based upon false information. That's his problem. He can't pay. If they call back all his loans tomorrow morning, he does not have enough cash available. Okay? I don't care where he goes. By the time he sells everything, and as soon as he starts to sell everything off, it's going to go from equal value down to pennies on the dollar eventually. So he's not an overly wealthy. He's wealthy. Wealthy people are a misnomer sometimes. They have property that makes them worth money. Okay, do they have more money than they pay for that in what they do to pay to maintain that property and everything like that? That's debatable. Do they have the money to go out? What they do have is a large credit rating, a huge credit rating. If you don't think so, look at what happens when you buy a house. All right. Once you own property, your credit rating goes up. It's like when you win the lottery. Okay. you get what 900? Say you get $900,000 in one lump sum. Okay, you immediately have over $1 million in credit that you can go out and spend because you've got this money and it's in the bank. Okay, that's why over half of those people go bankrupt because they have the credit, but they don't understand something. The ones that really went bankrupt were the ones that used to take it in installments, because you have $1 million credit line, but you're only getting say $100,000 a month or something like that, and you run up debts that are ridiculously high. That's just what happens to people. They get greedy. But Donald Trump, he doesn't have cash. That's the problem with the bonds and everything else. That was what's going on. He couldn't put up cash. In order for him to put up cash, he had to borrow the money from somebody else or sell it. It's said that he has 2 or 3 mortgages on the hotel, Trump Towers, and that he couldn't sell it tomorrow if he wanted to. He'd have to satisfy all 3 mortgages before he could sell it. And when he got done, he wouldn't get what he thought. He wouldn't get near what the hotel is worth, or he thinks it's worth anyhow. I'm not a financial wizard. If my father was still alive, I'd sit down and have him come in here and explain. And you wouldn't understand it when he was done. But his 3rd grade education was a whiz when it came to finance. But that's what we're looking forward to. I think Trump is calling for almost. He is basically saying now that if he loses the election, it's crooked. Okay, and he's gonna have people that believe that. I don't know whether you'll have the 10,000 or whatever people going down to Washington D.C. that you had the last time, or you'll have 1 million people going down to Washington D.C. this time. I have no idea. I know it's chaos. That's what he survives on. That's how he survived. Look at this mess over. Look at this mess over here, and this is what I'm going to do over here. Okay, while you're watching this, I'm going to go pick your pocket over here. That's Donald Trump. That's how he operates. And I'm not a genius. I'm just a fat guy sitting in a chair down in Medellin, Colombia. I've never had any sort of brilliant moves or anything like that. So this is just me saying this is I think is going to happen. And I've been right more than I've been wrong in these situations. And I think that's the same for anybody in my position. We just know things, because we see things and we observe things and we watch things, and that's what happens. Anyhow, it's Thursday. Let's see what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see if anything happens later on or if something big happens tomorrow. Okay, have a good day.